When we hear 25 years, when you say 25 years, it has a different connotation. When in the West you say 25 years, they say it's a long period. And that is how they must have started the tradition of silver jubilee. But when we say in Bharat 25 years, it's important, but it will go on, go on, go on. And the journey that began 25 years ago with the blessings of the Mahaswami and the great souls, and they fulfill its purpose. The purpose is preservation and promotion of Sanatana Dharma. How national integration, but that's the facet of it. Just one facet. We know that this is the land where Bhakti emerged, and Nam Sankirtanam is a manifestation of long, long time, thousands of years ago, when Sanatana Dharma was articulated, was expressed through the divine Vedas, when the sense of kinship, sense of it was expressed in the holy text. At the time, perhaps the need for bhakti was not felt that much. But I'm very conscious of the fact that there are a lot of scholars who are far more intelligent as experts, they know much more. But I'm just giving a perspective, my perspective when I look at bhakti. And when I say it's not just mine, we know that the creation, as we understand, it is the time period of creation is not linear, it is cyclical. Then Juga to Juga to Juga it comes, and then comes to Kali. When began, and we know when it began, it is about 3000, it is now by and large, experts they do agree that when Sri Krishna left for the for about 102 before the common era is almost about 5,126 years before when the Kali Yuga began. Our divine rishis, they realized the threat to Sanatana Dharma. Because Sanatana Dharma was not only made for people of this way, it was made for the whole creation, whole world. All embracing, didn't leave out anyone. Even those we believe. And then our divine rishis realized the threats that this dharma, which is essential for sustaining the world, they want this, what we say bhakti, it took the essence of our Sanatana Dharma from the institutions to the individual soul, individual's heart. We know that for bhakti one doesn't have to be a bhakta, one doesn't have to be a scholar. But illiterate. Absolute surrender to the feet of the Lord. It's humility, compassion. When we surrender, we just completely forsake our ego. And the root cause of conflict is by liberating it from the institutions and bringing it to the heart of every individual. If you put it in a modern expressions, if you like to give it, it's a kind of a huge egalitarian move. When it was, perhaps, I'm not very sure, there was at that point of time any threat to the Dharma, but we have seen how at least for the last 1,000 years. When the invaders from outside, they came not just merely for territory and the wealth, but also it was a invasion where tried to destroy the essence of Sanatana Dharma. And they began destroying the institutions, temples, institutions were destroyed. And yet it succeeded in retaining itself. It survived. Sanatana Dharma survived. Attempt to destroy. Can we imagine it possible without bhakti? Just temples are destroyed, let it be destroyed. But you can't take away from the heart, my heart. And I always feel completely overwhelmed when I think of our great Nayanars and Alvars, those who were by taking it not only in the essence of the Dharma in a language which is intelligible to the people, common. Doesn't necessarily have to be a language which I don't understand, which I have to read. We know that the whole Bharat, Sanskrit was the language of. Our texts were all in Sanskrit. But common people that didn't have access to it. The common people, they have to stand. It has to be taken to them. They must have access to the essence of the Dharma. Precisely that is. Look at the beauty of our Bharat. When the invasion began, the civilizational invasion, then one after another, our saint poets, with the power of bhakti, they held the society together. We know here, this place, of course, subsequently during the British it came, for nearly 200 years almost. But you go to all over the country. Names were mentioned by Dr. Kamakodi, some of the names. Yes. At the time it was not concept of state. People speak various languages. And we take, in terms of language, how this same poets in different Bharatiya languages, they took up the movement and held the society together in a much critical time. in Telugu. Go up further. Great Jayadev. Geeta. Go up, Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Go up further in Assam, Srimant Sankar Dev. Go towards west, Hindi area. Go further west, Guru Nanak Dev. Go up in Kashmir, Lal Dev. Come down, Gujarat, Narsim Mehta. They are just few names. Come to Maharashtra, Marathi is speaking, Sant Dhyaneshwar and all these areas. Complete, whole, every language is speaking people. All these poets and words. They held the society together through the power of bhakti. While the ruler kept unleashing the worst kind of violence and atrocities, people kept suffering, and yet they were held together, and that did not waver is through the power of bhakti. Integration. Bharat has been a Rashtra. And sometimes in our anxiety to explain, we go to the English language and we start using the term nation. Nation doesn't fully justify. Actually, it's much later, we know that how. It's a concept. It emerged in the 17th century. Colonizing the world. They started defining the people and putting them in brackets of, they came up with certain markers that, okay, you speak the same language, you belong to one nation. You have certain ethnicity, then you belong to one nation. These are markers, they made various markers. Food, cuisine, culture, all this. But these were artificial markers created by the colonizers, especially in colonies, to segregate the people, to break the people in various groups, with an imperial ambition or rather a strategy, so that you don't say that this land belongs to all of you. You are so many groups, you are there. So that is why the and if that is the definition of a nation, I also say that no, it was not. Because India, Bharat was a Rashtra. And Rashtra is a unique concept, happens only in Bharat, nowhere else. And Rashtra is defined very well. There are great scholars sitting here. They would be better how Rashtra emerges. Bhadram ikshant risaya swavida tapo diksham upneshe duragra tato rashtram balamojasaya. When rishis with a heart, with a desire to serve the whole humanity, whole world, Bhadram ikshant risaya swavida atmagyani. And what is swavida? Mam atma sarvabhuta atma. With their hard work, Rashtra is born. And that is how, with this knowledge, the wisdom revealed in the Vedas, that we are all one. Human, animals, plants, everyone. We are all part of, member of a family, larger family. This Rashtra emerged with different different regions. Because then, what we are seeing, the different, it became diversity. It ceased to be different. It became diverse, variation. And Bharat was the ocean, say. So this Rashtra, essentially, it is meant to expand to the whole world. It is not just being limited to this current geographic expanse. It is expected to expand because that is the way the world can be saved. Because who in the world has people? Nobody else says that. You may talk all kinds of things, these are all political noises. But at the soul, the whole world, not only humans, we know everything in the world. So, essentially, it is meant to expand to the whole world. Now, bhakti, it has served the purpose of holding the Rashtra together. And Rashtra and Sanatana Dharma are inseparable. Because Sanatana Dharma is born, Rashtra is born out of Sanatana Dharma. If anyone says that, no, it's a political, I don't know, it's all nonsense. It is inseparable. Bharat cannot exist if you remove Dharma. It is a group. It is not Rashtra. You have crowd. So this Rashtra, which is evolved around the Dharma and Dharmic principles, this Dharma and Dharmic principles, which is compassion, sense of oneness, Bhakti has played a very crucial role in a very critical time. And that is why we often say here, that nothing happens just like that. There is always a purpose. That yes, divine has a purpose. So when our divine rishis, when they discovered this marga of bhakti, at that point of time there might not have been a crisis to Sanatana Dharma, but they must have foreseen a time. How do you sustain yourself? And that's the power, that's the magic formula that they gave. Take it out. Away from the institution, put it in the heart of all the individuals, all the bhaktas. Let the institutions be destroyed by the invaders, doesn't matter. Your dharma is safe. Stay. That is what. Now this being the source of creation of Rashtra and sustenance of Rashtra. Rashtra was born out of this dharma and Rashtra has been sustained through the time through this very dharma. Now what is here? If you look at the future, we have a great responsibility, huge responsibility. Divine rishis, when they explained the divine wisdom, the Vedas, it was not meant only for some people, it was meant for the whole world. So this has to be spread over, the light has to be spread over the whole world. And how do we do that? And this is what Sri Aurobindo, on the day of independence, on 15th August 1947, he had written it. Now the time has come for Bharat to fulfill her divine responsibility of taking the light to the rest of the world. See how the world is divided, fighting, conflict, extreme poverty, you have extreme affluence as well. How Mother Nature is being tortured, exploited, all kinds of problems which nobody could ever conceive of in the past. humans are capable of creating all those problems. And that is what is happening across and happening many. And we have started feeling, the curtain raiser of what is going to happen if it is not corrected. The way the climate, the way the elements are angry and they are giving signals. Now, at this time, we have a great responsibility. So, Bharat must fulfill her divine mandate to spread this light and save the world. This wisdom was with us for thousands of years. We must be capable, sabal and samarth, to take this light. Now, after a long time, almost about after 1,000 years, we find a new era for Bharat has begun, where Bharat is waking up to her sense of destiny, her sense of responsibility, and preparing herself to fulfill that responsibility. And that is possible only when while we go materially, we must be militarily strong, materially prosperous, but at the same time, the core of the dharma also must rise. So it's adhyatmic. So adhyatmic energy is the call of the day. Again, I would quote Sri Aurobindo. He defined what is Bharat. He says Bharat is a living energy of this Sanatana Dharma. Of course, in his style he called it Vedic, but that is what Sanatana Dharma is. The Vedic Dharma. And the essence of Bharat is directly linked with its fidelity, its allegiance to this Dharma. Bharat exists if you have allegiance to this Sanatana Dharma. If your allegiance is strong, Bharat is strong. If allegiance is weak, you are weak. Now, at this point, Bharat is awake and waking up to her destiny, and we are progressing materially in the field of science and technology. Here, unfortunately, our people have a tendency to put everything in politics. That's the problem. Anything you say, it will happen. They will start looking at the political aspects. But the fact is that individuals, I believe firmly that individuals who are playing the significant role today, they are not just themselves, they are actually designed, ordained by the divine. And when we say today our national leadership, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this gentleman is the call of the providence that yes, Bharat must fulfill her responsibility. You need a leader, you need a person who should be able to energize and make Bharat capable. Capable in both Adhyatmic and Bhautik. We have seen it. We have seen how in the Bhautik we are nowhere in the last 10 years where we have reached. We are in science and technology, startups, innovations, every day. Today, some of you might have read in the newspaper how in the space sector, a startup like a Skyroot is coming up with launching vehicles, space vehicles, a space craft, launching for the orbit. Not only our ISRO, private sector, unleashing the energy of the people. Every sector. And we have seen how our capability has withstood us when a terror attack happened in Palagam. So here is a leadership who on hand the country progresses and be capable of fulfilling her destiny. And if the time comes, conduct Operation Sindoor. And at the same time, hoist the Dharma Dhwaja on Sri Ravi. Now this unique combination at this point of time, all of us have a responsibility. The entire nation has a responsibility. And in this, the initiative which was taken 25 years ago to have the Nam Sankirtana festival, to energize, spiritually energize the society through bhakti. To look at the larger perspective. At present we have, it is, people sometimes they try to ignore it, but the fact is that Kali Yuga is still rising to its peak. We have people, we have forces which are against, when their forces are against Bharat, they are not just against Bharat as a territory, but against Sanatan Dharma. This dharma is not, hegemonistic. It doesn't say, no, I am the best. No, it doesn't. It is humility. It is act of pure and simple humility. It says all of us are family. Just one, Ore Kudumba. Now, but there are forces which hegemonistic. No, you must follow us. This is what is the right way. Now, this is the right way that those forces are. And there are detractors, there are enemies of the dharma even within. It's not only from outside. So you have problems, you have to be careful from those who are outside and those who are our own here. It's all the more important that we energize our society, our people. And as Dr. Kamakodi mentioned about that, have the younger generation. Yes, younger generation will come. You don't have to worry about Dr. Kamakodi. There are people who are coming. I see all over young people. I think some fantastic, their commitment. A top grade engineer moving and coming to this field. Very accomplished doctor coming to this field. And they are coming with, and they are doing works. They are young people, by the way. The young people, they are chosen to forsake their life of absolute comfort, where they were getting millions of dollars salaries. They have come and they have started serving it. So it couldn't have happened just like that. I think this is again the call of the time, the age and the era. So young people will come, are coming, more and more will come. What the to continue, because then, as Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Yad Acharati Shreshta, you know that more and more will come, and nobody can stop the rise of Bharat Rashtra and so the rise of Bharat Sanatan Dharma. Thank you all for organizing. From my heart, I wish everyone the very best. Thank you.